Luz, you're on mute.
Yes, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Serious. Yes.
I will not be muted. I will not be motherfucking muted. Okay, so we're gonna start again. You guys, you know it's Tuesday. You know it's still Standing Monologues, and I'm Luz Michelle. Welcome. 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 It's Tuesday, you guys. We have our lovely lineup to the side of me with Mr. Calvin Cato, Mr. Tony Viagra, Miss Robin Lake, and Miss Lynette Palladino. Yes, you guys, on a Tuesday. Right? It's like free candy. Okay, stop it. Everything's fine. But it's Tuesday. I got a little, I get very sidetracked when we have like those 4-day weekends, right? Because then the week starts and you're like, oh, it's Monday. And you're doing every day Monday form. And it's like, no, it's fucking Tuesday. Like, no. You've already fucked up 4 things. It's Tuesday. Like the garbage went out last minute. That's like a big thing in my house because I have kids, like, you know, and they're under 7. So there's stuff. There's still pull-ups. There's still like dirty napkins. I have a dog. Like there's stuff. Like, no, I need to catch this guy. And I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. So like if I miss him, he's not coming back till next week. Like, no, not cool. Not cool. But it's Tuesday. I've kind of stopped drinking Monday through Thursday. Thank you. Right, there is a round of applause. That's a big fucking thing. It is. It's a big thing. Like I tell myself only on holidays. You know, only if I have to fall between Monday through Thursday, I'm not going to ignore it. You know, I'm not an animal. Like for instance, today, I don't know if anyone knows, it is National Say Something Nice Day.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Something to
Cool.
celebrate. It's also the first day of Pride. That is something
Yeah.
very much to celebrate. Yes. And tomorrow's my birthday. It's Gemini season.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So you got to drink every day in June, you know? There's going to be exceptions. Like, I don't consider myself to be an alcoholic, but I am a drinker. You know what I mean? Like, and drinkers get that, right? Like, I can have a drink every night, you know, kind of thing. And it's normal. Like, you reach for a water, I reach for a vodka. You know, it's kind of like it goes hand in hand. Goes hand in hand. But there is a big difference. Like, I'm not at the point where I'll destroy my life, but I am at the point if we're out and you're like, come on, let's have the 7th drink. And I'm like, I really shouldn't. I'll do it. And if you need me, I'll get in a bar fight with you. You know, like I'm there. And I'm a mother and a wife. So it's like, you know, it won't look really good on the resume, you guys. You know, it won't. But I'm married. I know. Sorry, ladies. I'm off the market. My husband brought home a Fitbit, you know, those little things, real cute. Those are cute. So I realized, like, when he brought it home, like, I had this first, like, what is that? What are you doing? Why are we doing this? Like, did you get me one? Like, are we both getting healthy together? What's the situation? And no, he got one for himself. But like, I'll catch him. Like, he'll go on the app and he's like checking all his, you know, all his numbers and everything. And he's like, I'm healthy. I'm good. I'm good. And I'm like, I don't even understand why you need a Fitbit. You know what we need? We need a fucking Sitbit. That's what I want to see. Right? I want to know how many episodes I'm in with Netflix. I don't want Netflix asking me if I'm still there. I want my watch to tell me. Right? I had my 3rd tequila and we all know what happens after that. Like, I want the watch to be like, you know, what's going to happen from here. You know, but at the same time reminding me how wonderful I am. Like, that's a fucking thing you need on your hand, right? Not like, he's like, well, I need to know if I'm stressed out. I'm like, you're stressed out. You're stressed out. I'll be the first to tell you. But that was a lot of fun. the pandemic, right? We did it. I don't know. It's over. It's not over. We're returning. We're not returning. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like there's no one I know in my life I can ask and be like, what's going on? And they like have an answer, right? It's always like 5 different things and what it might be and what's going on, what's happening, beliefs, no beliefs. And you're just like, what? What? I felt one of the hardest things though was being locked up with your significant other, right? Even if it was a roommate, even if it was a fucking hamster, like after a while, like everyone needed just fucking space. Like you needed something. And there wasn't even anyone you can ask, right? Because no one's been through this unless you were around in 1918 through 1920 with the Spanish flu, right? Then no one could be like, oh, listen, when this happened, we did this. No, nobody knew. Nobody knew. I even broke up with my therapist because it made no sense after a while, right? Like the things I'm freaking out, having anxiety and depression and all this stuff with, so is she, right? So why am I paying you? Like, you can't tell me to calm down and everything's going to be okay. I know you don't know. You know? I'll just pick up the bottle of vodka and everything will be fine. It'll be fine. But it was a lot being under one roof with my husband. We're both Latinos, you know, it's a lot. Thank you. You know, you got to understand that. You know, I'm Colombian, I'm Native Indian. I was adopted by 2 Eastern European Jews, and I grew up in Staten Island. My husband, he's my matzo con pollo, aka my Jurican. You know, that's a lot. It's a lot under one roof. And a couple of years ago, we moved out to Whitechester, aka Westchester. Some people call it that. And during the pandemic, the neighbors called the cops on us twice. We're talking. We're not fighting. Like I could talk to my husband, go get the milk. And I'm reacting like that, right? Just like someone died, go get the milk, you know, like it's the same. So to the neighbors, it was a lot. They got really nervous and they called the cops. Like, even when the cop came, especially the second time, like I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we're in a pandemic. Like, I'm not even going to feel bad about this because I know I'm not the only one fucking screaming at the top of their goddamn lungs on day 177. Like, I'm not the only one. Everybody. Like, no. And who called? Who called? You know? It's been 5 months, no cops, so I think we're going to be okay. You know, we made it. We made it, you guys. Another thing that I'm doing my best to get away from is the whole doom scrolling. Does anyone else do that before you go to bed? Like you just, some reason you read the fucking news and then you fall down this like Alice in Wonderland rat hole and you're like, oh my God, the world is really, really bad. I'll do that before bed. You know? Like, so many questions. So many questions. But one of the things I'm trying to do more that I did a lot in the pandemic was TikTok. Right? I mean, did anyone? I was obsessed with fucking TikTok. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with it. But the one thing my daughter got obsessed with was the families or the couples that do those like choreographed dances together and everything looks perfect. What was that? And my daughter would say shit like, why don't we do this? Why aren't we laughing and playing with each other like that? Look how happy they are. Why aren't we like this? And I was like, stop it. Control yourself. These people aren't happy. That mother is broken down 7 times. The camera broke. The father's bringing up how they should have got a divorce. One kid shit his pants, and the other one's biting and licking a wall. Like, stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. All right, you guys. I think we're going to start to move the train out of this station. I have a lovely lineup for you. Again, on a Tuesday. Thank you for showing up. Relax, roll up, zip up, snack up, and enjoy these human beings. All right, you guys. It's time to welcome the next comedian to the stage. This woman, I got a lot of love for her. She produces a show at Broadway Comedy Club called Hot Flash, and she has a podcast called Hot Flash the Podcast. Ooh, I like that. Please welcome to the stage, Miss Robin Laden.
Woo!
I totally get the thing about being stuck in the house with hubby. All right. First of all, for all of you who don't know, the divorce rate went up 32% during COVID. Yeah, you got to think about that. That means that somebody would rather go out and brave a potentially life-threatening virus that could suck the life out of their lungs than stay home with their mate and listen to the same story for the 800th fucking time. So, I gained weight during COVID and I wasn't happy about it because my son's getting married in a few months. And so I've been like crazy. Yeah, I know. It's nice, right? I've been crazy dieting like a lunatic. I mean, I when I eat now, I'm like Rain Man. I'm like, okay, I can have 6 French fries, 2 pieces of chicken, half a teaspoon of ice cream, a half a Diet Coke, and like the Wendy's woman will be like, pull up your car, lady. Just pay your bill and get the fuck out of here. I'm like, wait, I got to fit into my jeans. So, no, I've been going to the gym. Like I actually during COVID, even though I can't breathe with the mask on, I've been going to the gym, and I walk in, you see the same woman receptionist standing behind the desk. You walk in, she's like, "Hi, namaste." I'm like, "No, hi, Robin." I get on the treadmill, and what do I see at the gym? The same bullshit, like the 9-year-old anorexics, right? I always get them next to me, with the tattoos and the earrings, the 26 earrings. I'm like a white Jew from the suburbs. And give me, what am I doing? I get on the fucking treadmill, and right next to me is this little ano, and she's looking at me with such pity in her eyes, like, "Oh man, lady, you ought to be home knitting and watching Oprah." And I'm like looking at her thinking, "Biatch, you look at me that way one more time, I'm getting off this treadmill, jumping on your chest and pulling out that fucking feeding tube." Then I'm looking at my watch going, it's 3:00. Isn't it time for you to go to the bathroom and lose your lunch? So my gym has like a lot of these guys, that train you. Now that's how they make the money, right? They basically work for minimum wage. I get that they make more money, when they train you, and that's like their gig. That's what they do. I don't want to be trained, If I wanted you to train me, I would have worn makeup. Leave me the fuck alone. So I'm married a really long time. Howie's not dead by now. I don't get it. He's married to me. My fucking bad luck, right? We used to say whoever dies first wins. We're both a bunch of losers. So next month is my 36th wedding anniversary. Oh my God. I'm already the 36, right? You bunch of millennials. By the way, I fucking hate you. No, really, I read in a magazine, of course, so it must be true. And it's like 90% of millennials are sexually fluid or non-binary. I don't know, kids. In my day, we just called them fucking whores. So when I was growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm originally from Manhattan, the Lower East Side, from the projects. We lived in the projects, and we kind of moved on up when we got to Brooklyn. That was like the big move, And when I was growing up, doctors, this is how long ago, doctors actually made house calls. Like, they'd come to your house. My Jewish mother from Brooklyn would get on the phone and go, "Dr. Garman, Robin's not feeling good. She's coughing a little bit. Could you think you could get in a car and come over here and see her?" "Of course, Mrs. Siegel, I'm on my way over." He would come over. He was really nice. He would come over. He even gave me a lollipop just as soon as he was done molesting me.
Oh.
My Jewish mother would be like, "Robin, so what? He's Jewish. He's a doctor. He's never been married. He has no baggage. Give me a break." And he'd be like, "Mom, he's 56. He's never been married. Knock, knock." She'd be like, "Robin, big deal. Your father too, just so you know." And then she'd be like, "Come on, Robin, you deal with it, I mean, think about it. Use your head. Today the lollipop, tomorrow the ring." All right, you fast forward to today. Dr. Gorman's married to Dr. Paul. Yeah, I think they met in prison. I think that was part of his experimental phase. Anyway, so next month is my 36th wedding anniversary, and I wanted to get my husband something, very special, very representative of our marriage. So I spent the whole week last week on the phone trying to book him a flight to Wuhan, China. It was very, very inexpensive, I said, when you get there, there's a lab. Make sure you go there. I think they're looking for, for people to work there. I said, just in case, I'm sending you with some Clorox. Look, what can I say? At our age, you have issues. I mean, you guys are young. At our age, and Tony would know this, you have issues like, he has high blood pressure and a swollen prostate. I have bad knees and no wrist. But, we work things out. We role play. This is what happens when husbands too cheap to pay for Pornhub. You got to role play. So his favorite role play is, I'm the patient. He's the doctor. He says, get in the bedroom. I get in the bed. He leaves me waiting for a half hour reading some shitty magazine. He comes in. He's got his scrubs down to his ankles. He's like, okay, Robin, open wide. He's prodding and poking. And then when he's done, and I got to say, he being the operative word, he's like, okay, Robin, you can put your clothes on. See you in 6 months. I'm like, hold on there, schmuck. I like a little something too, He's like, oh, that'll have to refer you to a specialist. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, I get it. Oh, you mean like a linguist? Yeah, make sure she's very cunning. Yeah. So that's life in the married lane. We have 3 children. Their names are Gimme, I Want, and I Need. I didn't plan on having children. I have to say, I heard Lynette say she has a child. I didn't plan on having children. I didn't want. I hope they're not listening. But all 4 of my grandparents were Eastern European peasants. So if you just spit at me, I get pregnant. So my kids are all right. My oldest son is an actor. He likes to act like he's making money. He married an actress. So bonus for me, I get a discount at TGIFs and Red Lobster. Yay! Yeah, it's really thrilling. I know, right? Why couldn't you marry like a nuclear scientist or something, My middle son went to West Virginia University, majored in inbreeding. He minored in hello, my name is Max. Yes. He's getting married in a couple of months, which is why I've been dieting. And he's marrying a very nice girl. She's Catholic. We happen to be Jewish. I know. Shocker, shocker. I know. But he went there. Actually, I'm going to go back to Easter because I was so happy. The family, they've been dating 8 years, And they invited him over for Easter Sunday, right? And he came to me. He never asks my opinion. Like, he thinks he knows everything, He's like, Mom, what should I bring? It's Easter Sunday. I said, listen, honey, it is a very important holiday for Christians. It's important. I said, you can get her like a box of chocolates or something. I said, but get the mother a big bouquet of flowers. And in the bouquet, I want you to stick a note apologizing for killing Jesus. Yeah. And I said to him, just make sure you get the chocolates at Godiva. Now, if you go to CBS, they're going to call you a cheap Jew. Now, I had the same issue with my daughter. She went to school in the Deep South, majored in business and apparently minored in Christianity. Oh. She came home for the summer, and she's like, Mom, Christmas is in a few months. I want a Christmas tree. I'm like, fuck you, we're Jewish. We have a menorah. She goes, no, Mom, I want a Christmas tree. I said, okay, you fucking Jackie bitch, we'll get a Christmas tree. I said, but we're stopping. There's going to be no manger soon. She goes, why, Mommy? The baby Jesus is coming out. I said, because, honey, I know how it ends. It doesn't end so good. I think our ancestors had something to do with it. So, yeah, that happened. So my best friend Gertrude, her daughter's a millennial, and we like to call her woke Leslie. She's very woke. As a matter of fact, last summer, she was at my house, Gertrude, and we're watching television, and we're watching, the protests and the looting going on down in Soho. And, I was, going, yeah, you go protesters. I was really for BLM. But then we see out of the corner of the screen, we see woke Leslie running out of a store with like 18 Chanel bags on her shoulder. So Gertrude grabs the phone and goes, Leslie, turn around. There's a big screen TV behind you. Grab it. And Leslie texts her back. She goes, Mom, I tried, but it wouldn't fit in the Uber. I'm like, dumbass millennial. She should have called an XL. All right, you've been great. I wish you all the fabulous lives you pretend to have on Instagram.
Yeah, marriage is something. That is, it's something. It's you learn a lot about yourself.
Yes, you do.
Like the things you'll do, or how you show up, or respond to something. Like my husband and I, we've been together 10 years this year, and we've been married for 5. Thank you. Thank you. And there's still some things like I feel like that woman. Like I'll say things like, I've been saying this for 10 years. Like I don't understand. Anything. Like he's notorious for he's a good person. I love him. But he's the guy who puts his laundry on the floor next to the thing, next to the handle. I don't understand that. What happened? What happened between point A and point B? I want to throw my shit on the floor too, but nobody's gonna pick up my shit. No one. And you know what? I grew up with Jews, yeah, and all I ever wanted was a fucking Hanukkah bush. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Darling, you have a Hanukkah. You were raised by Jews. You have a Hanukkah bush.
I know. I do have a Hanukkah bush. I do. But I wanted one that lights up.
We can work on that.
I know. It sounds like a you issue. All right, you guys. It's time to welcome the next comedian to the stage. He is known as the gangster of comedy from Motel 6, and they do not leave the light on for him. You guys, put your hands together for Miss Tony Viagra.
Woo! If I was a psychic and I knew that an airplane was going to crash, I'd buy a round trip ticket for my ex-wife. I'm just fucking around. You can't say that. That's not right. That's not right. I'd buy her one-way ticket. I wish my ex the best. Only the best. The best of everything. The best chemotherapy. The best artificial limbs. The best wheelchair. Only the best. Have you ever noticed how the little lady on TV is always attractive and young and bubbly, high energy? Have you ever noticed that? You ever noticed how the traffic lady is not quite as attractive as the weather lady, and usually not as young and not as high energy, and makes me wonder if sometimes it gets a little catty between the traffic lady and the weather lady. Maybe sometimes when they go to commercial break, maybe it sounds a little bit like this. Hey, traffic bitch! No, traffic bitch! Hey, traffic bitch! Stop playing traffic on the interstate! Hey, weather twat! Yo, weather twat! Hey, weather twat! You better start showing more cleavage and sucking more dick, and they'll bring you something hard to replace you. Have you ever noticed how people define themselves with cars? Have you ever noticed that? A good example is when you see somebody driving around town in a Ford Fusion. Do you feel like walking up to them and saying, hey man, if you would have studied hard in school, instead of sitting in the back of the room, picking your nose and smoking weed, you would be living in Section 8 housing, on food stamps, and driving around town in that fucking piece of shit car. And how about when you see a guy driving down the street in a $70,000 Corvette? A $70,000 Corvette. That's a lot of money just to get your sucked. You know, I used to drive around town in a 1971 Olds Cutlass. They cost $1,200. I used to get my dick sucked. It was better than the Corvette. Why was it better than the Corvette? It was better than the Corvette because the inside dome light didn't work, which means I couldn't see the zit on her fat ugly fucking face. And how about when you see a voluptuous, gorgeous blonde driving down the street in a $70,000 Corvette? What does that mean? It means it's a stolen car. And how about when you see some guy driving down the street in a Mini Cooper? A Mini Cooper. What goes through your mind? Well, intellectual, environmentally concerned, socially concerned, big douchebag. You know, people are worried there's going to be an insurrection. And I'm worried that I'm going to have an erection. You know, I'm at the point in my life where the only thing gets hard are my arteries. You know, I'm getting older now, so I was going to dye my hair. But my hair died before I could dye it. And then there's COVID-19. COVID-19. And I'm trying to get COVID-19. I am. I'm trying to get COVID-19. Because at my age, I'll take anything that's 19. And I can't wait for this pandemic to end. I can't wait for this pandemic to end. So I can pick my nose. You know, this pandemic is crazy. It's really crazy. You know, I haven't had a drink since this pandemic started. Now I use a funnel. And there's a $1,400 stimulus check. People got a $1,400 stimulus check due to the pandemic. And I've been wondering, did prostitutes get a $1,400 stimulus check or just a check? They don't need stimulus. If things weren't bad enough. Now there's two COVID-19s. One from China and one from Italy. So how do you tell the difference? Well, the one from Italy has an accent and he talks with his hands. And you know, this pandemic is so bad. It's so bad that now a person dies every minute from COVID-19. Yes, a person dies every minute from COVID-19. It's the same person. And you know, now the big thing is social distancing. Social distancing. Everyone's doing social distancing, and I'm an old pro at social distancing because women have been keeping their distance from me for years. And I was watching TV last night. They had medical experts on talking about COVID-19. They said a person has a far better chance of survival if they contract HIV rather than COVID-19 because there's long-term effective treatments for HIV or there are none for COVID-19. So what the fuck are they saying? Something they're saying it's safer to have anal sex with an AIDS patient than let some old fart cough on you. And this pandemic has changed the whole world. A good example is Zoom video. Everybody's on Zoom video conference. Zoom. And I love Zoom video. Why do I love Zoom video? Because last week I went to religious services via Zoom video. And what does that mean? It means I didn't have to spend 2 hours sitting behind that big fat lady having to smell rotten, stinking farts. And now the CDC recommends effective hand washing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The experts recommend singing happy birthday while you're washing your to ensure that you wash your hands long enough. So I've been wondering, if I'm supposed to sing happy birthday while I'm washing my hands, what am I supposed to do when I wet myself? Stand up and sing the national anthem? And our town is so poor. Our town is so poor, we can only get COVID-18. And now, the big news on the vaccine is they brought out a vaccine for the hood. Yes, a vaccine for the hood. It's manufactured by Johnson & Johnson. 35% less effective than Pfizer and Moderna. So they sent it to the hood. And this pandemic killed my social life. It killed my social life. My social life is dead. It's really dead. The only time I hang out is when I take a shower. And it's so cool that now it's socially acceptable for football players to show their concern for social justice by taking a knee. I wish my girlfriend had taken a knee. Both knees. How am I doing on my time, Liz?
I was about to hit you.
Am I out of time? Am I done? Am I out of time?
You're at 8.
I'm at 8. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So welcome to the Tuesday night standing comedy show with Luz, where we present family-friendly comedy, suitable for the entire family. Has anyone here ever eaten rotten pussy? Just show hands, rotten pussy going once, rotten pussy going twice. There's no shame in eating pussy. Eating pussy is patriotic. Why, this country has a long history of patriots eating pussy. Why, every schoolboy knows why George Washington had wooden teeth, because he's running out from eating Martha's stinky pussy. And then there's FDR, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He led the country through World War II, and he could find a wheelchair, and he said it was from polio. What really happened was he's eating Eleanor's pussy. He contracted something, went right to his spine and paralyzed him, and could find a wheelchair. He said it was from polio. He's in 1930s. He could say, "Oh, he ate his old lady's pussy." Now, we're going to wrap it up now, folks. Get the wrapper, the fish wrap. We're going to wrap it up. Okay, here we go. And people may wonder, why does Tony Viagra say the things he says? Why does Tony Viagra act the way he does? Why is Tony Viagra a gangster? Well, it all goes back to when little Tony Viagra was in second grade and was practicing for the second grade Christmas play and rehearsing Christmas carols. When one day, little Tony's teacher called little Tony aside. She said, "Tony, when you sing the Christmas carols, you just move your lips, but don't sing. Move your lips, but don't sing." Okay, so we had our Christmas play. We sang Christmas carols, and I just moved my lips. I didn't sing. So that's 100 years ago, so who the fuck cares, right? So I found out a few years ago that Mrs. Moran died. Mrs. Moran is dead. I will not talk about the dead because I have too much class to talk about the dead, and it's not right. So I can tell you what a rotten old fucking bastard she was, because I'm not talking about the dead. It's not right. I won't do it. I have too much class to do that. So I'm going to tell you what a stinking old bastard she was, because I will not talk about the dead. It's not right. I will not do it. I will not stoop to that level. Plus, Les will not permit me to talk about the dead on this show, so I'm not going to do it. But what I'm going to do for you tonight, right here, right now, what I'm going to do for you, so I'm going to sing a Christmas carol, despite that fat old fucking bitch. I'm going to sing a Christmas carol just for you right now. So get ready. Here it goes. I'm Tony Viagra. Thank you.
Mr. Tony Viagra, everybody.
Thank you.
Take it in, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know if you were going for the record of how many times a man can say pussy in the matter of 1 minute.
Is that a new record?
Tony.
Is that a new Guinness record?
I think you did it.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
I like that you dropped the funnel word. I used to love funnels. I really did. I used to love the shit out of funnels because I didn't like to drink beer because it would make me bloated. And then one day, I went to a house party and someone was like, "Have you ever funneled? It's like taking one sip." And I was like, "No." And then I did it and it was just like, what?
Yeah.
It goes right to your head. It goes right to your bloodstream. You're fucked up. And that's why people do it upside down. Like, I was like, all right, we're not going to get crazy and do that.
Yeah.
Nice space might fall down. We're not going to do that. All right, you guys, it's time. It's time to welcome your next lovely comedian to the stage. This gentleman, you've seen him on Netflix, and he's contributed to a book that's coming out called Queendom next week. Give it up for Mr. Calvin Cato, everybody.
Hello! Oh my God, we did it, you guys. We did nothing. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here in my Amazon Casual separate. This feels really wonderful. I was not ready to get back online, so I'm glad I bought this for $5.99 off Amazon. This is wonderful. I'm back in my prime pandemic wear, which is very sad. These are knockoff Apple earbuds. They're called Oranges. It's not working out. Can you tell I'm poor? Because I'm poor. This My Little Pony, $1.99. Got that from a 99-cent store and paid an extra $1 for it. So that's why things are working out, just so you know. I'll be honest, I feel so ill-prepared to even be back online because I started doing like live shows again. and they've been all outdoor shows, which have been getting a little crunchy. Can we all agree, comedians? They've been getting a little crunch. Like, I did a show that was just straight up in a parking lot. Like, just in a parking lot. There was no illusions, no stage. They were like, just stand by lot 23 and tell your jokes at lot 25. Like, it was that bad. It was crazy. So I get there, and the host is like, okay, so stand by the green room. And the green room was a dumpster. Like, I literally stood by a dumpster. They were like, if you can fix your face in this broken mirror like your dreams, that would be great. So that's what I did. So I did that, and then I had to get on stage, and everyone's in their cars. So when you're performing, the audience can't laugh. If they like what they're saying, they just flash their headlights at you, which is depressing. Because you know what's even worse than doing stand-up comedy to silence? Epilepsy. Way worse. So much worse. So here I am. I'm telling my jokes in this parking lot. I'm fighting off a grand mal seizure, right? And I get off stage, and then this old white guy gets out of his car and starts walking towards me. So I'm like, hate crime. You know what I mean? You know who was president. So he walks towards me. I'm like, I have a TED Talk ready for this. And he is like, no, I thought you were really funny. You were really great. Here's a $20 bill. And he just handed me a $20 bill. And that's when I realized, oh, this is just prostitution now. Like, that's all this is. I'm just entertaining strange old white men in parking lots. You know what I mean? Like, I walked back to my own car and I heard, Roxanne! Like, it was very sad. I had to put on a red headlight. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't working out. So, it's just been weird. Like, I'm still adjusting to, like, all of this shit. And, like, it's just been bizarre. Like, because, like, I'm doing, like, these live shows, and I did one live indoor show, and they were like, okay, you can do this show indoors, but there has to be plexiglass everywhere. So it was just all plexiglass. I was like, am I performing in a check cashing place? Like, what's happening? Do I have to give you a morning order at the end of my set? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's crazy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been doing this for over a decade, and I'm tired. I'm over it. I want my dreams to die. That's it. Anyway, it's fine. My friend is looking at me right now, and he's like, is this just shitty therapy? It's fine. Is that why you're in your kimono? Get it together. Anyway, so it's fine. I bought a bike recently. I did it. I bought a bike. I had to do it because I, like most everyone else, gained weight, hence the kimono. Downstairs, it's just all Homer Simpson. It's not good. Anyway, so I bought a bike because I literally said this sentence out loud, and this sentence was, whew, I got winded walking to Popeyes. And I was like, that is too much unhealthy in one sentence to say. It's time to get a bike. Lose the man titties. Get it together. It's fine. I'm trying to get this together because I went through most of the pandemic single, like very single, you know, like Disney single. Do you know what Disney single is? Like the kind of single where you start singing to the mice in your apartment, like that level of single. Where you see a masquerade by and you're like, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Like that level. Like a bird hemmed the bottom of this kimono as I sang that joke. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't working out. So it's been a hot mess, and it was getting bad. And so my friend was like, you should try virtual dating. Like, you know, because I guess that's what we're doing now instead of buying cats. So my friend was like, you should go on a virtual date. But I will tell you this. I won the best virtual date ever. It was such a good virtual date. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm on OnlyFans. I'm so sorry. Listen, an old man paid to watch me drink in a thong. And I was like, this is the best date I've ever been on. So let's keep it going, Graybeard 89. Let's keep it going. This is wonderful. I have Venmo and PayPal. It's great. So, it feels crazy. I went back on dating apps recently because, that's the thing you should do. I'm double vaxxed. I was like, I'm ready. I can face the world. Let a seagull shit on my face. I'm going to do it. I went back on the dating apps. And I will tell you this. Robin, I know you're married. Lynette, I know you're married and have kids. I know pretty much everyone here is married, and I'm the only one who's going to die alone, and that's fine. But get on a dating app. It's worth it. And here's why. Don't do it to meet with the person. Do it because the names are so good. They're so good. Because I used to see screen names, and the names were like Cutie Pie 84. Too boring. Okay. I saw a name, and the name was Black Lives Matter. All cops are bad. Also, I swallow. Like, they're doing everything. It's all there, man. I was like, you know what, Malcolm XXX, let's do this. We're going to have a personal march. Okay, a personal march. Emancipate my heart, Malcolm. Emancipate my heart. I actually did. So I did actually meet a dude off of an app. I date dudes. Sorry. Thanks, Obama. You know, it was part of the mandate. It was part of the mandate. I needed the health insurance. So, I'm. So I met this dude, and I went over to his place, and we had to have COVID foreplay. I don't know if you know what COVID foreplay is. It's so cute. That's where you wash each other's hands. It's like so amazing. I was like, is that Dial soap? Dial me into this Dial soap. Thank you. Is that Johnson & Johnson? Put it on my Johnson. Like, it's so fun. I love it. It's fun. He's a librarian, which is great because he knows his way around an index. You know what I'm saying? He hates that joke. I can see him right now frowning. It's fine. So it's just weird because he's like a small white guy, which is like not like me. Like I usually take like big, burly, like kind of like, you know, guys where you see us together and they're like, is he gonna arrest you? Like, what's happening? I thought you stopped doing cocaine. Is this a sting? You know what I mean? Like those kinds of like ex-cop looking white dudes. But he's like a small white, which is nice. It feels like reparations. And that's really all I wanted, you know? I'm just like, I got my civil rights. Like, it's really fun. But I just never thought I was going to date another person who like works in education. Because the last time I did that, I dated a math teacher, which I don't know if anyone out there has ever dated a math teacher. If you have, give yourselves a round of applause emojis. It's really wonderful. If you have a math teacher, it's very fun because they know angles, and that's very important. You know what I mean? You got to make legs obtuse. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing at myself. So this is what happened. So I was seeing him. Things were really cool. And then Trump happened. And I'd like to say Donald Trump ruined my sex life in more ways than one. So this is what happened. So we were at his place, and it was pretty late. We finished having coitus. I'm trying to be polite. There are kids at home, apparently. So we had coitus. And after said coitus, his phone went off on my side of the bed. And he goes, hey, can you pass me my phone? And so I passed him his phone, and it's a Fox News Alert app on his phone. And so I was like, what is this? Like Jacques Hughes, like what's happening? You know what I mean? I was ready to get the guillotine. You know what I mean? So I was like, what is this? And he goes, oh, I like Fox News because it tells it like it is, which is the wrong answer. We can all agree that's the wrong. And so we got into a whole fight about politics and race, which is terrible to do, right? But imagine doing that while you're naked. That, like, my dick turned into a Black Power fist. Like, he got so mad. It started marching on Washington. You know what I mean? Like, I looked down and my dick was like, Wakanda forever. Like, it wasn't having it. It went full Black Panther on this man. It was like, rare. Like, it was really bad. So, had to go back to being single. This has been fun. I will leave you guys on this really quick. So, I don't mean to brag, but I'm going to travel for comedy soon. I'm going to go to this really exotic place called Connecticut. Have you heard of it? So many trees. So I have to go to Connecticut, which I'm excited about, but I'm not excited about the fact that I have to take a megabus. I thought I was too old. I'm almost 40. I don't want to take megabuses anymore. Can we? If you don't know what a megabus is just a Peter Pan bus that lost his Tinkerbell. Like, it's a very sad... It's a lot of Captain Hooks on the megabus. There's no hope on the megabus. Mm-hmm. Like, a megabus is the only place where someone will fart on the megabus, and I'll go, that's better now. Thank you so much. You upgraded this to a Greyhound. Thank you so much. At least it's not a Bolt bus. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. I sweated through this. I smell like a Planet Fitness. Thank you.
Yay! Give it up for Mr. Kelvin Cahill. Ah, yes. I have to say the best line of the night was "Let a seagull shit on my face." That's what you said, Calvin.
I'm taking risks now. Listen, I'm double vax, baby.
But like,
Got me
yeah,
two
but
Modernas.
that's like the positivity and the confidence. Like you went out in the day, you were like, "Yo, fucking shit on me. Like I'm good. I'm good. Like level up, like Ciara. Like I'm good." Oh man, that's so good. And you know what? It's true. I mean, I haven't done a dating app in a decade. In a decade. But my husband's name was Matza con Pollo. That was his name, and that's what drew me in. Like I was like, wait a minute, that's a Spanish Jew. Like
Ooh.
I'm not. No one can understand a Spanish Jew, but a Spanish Jew. Like you're 100% Hispanic and you're 100% Jewish, and somehow it comes together and it's a shitstorm. Like I swear to God, every time we go somewhere, because I have 2 kids, it's my husband. Every time we go somewhere, we are fucking yelling. Like we yell about everything and anything. But that's the Jewish side, right? Just yell anything. Like, why is your shoe like that? And it's like a big fucking thing. But then like we throw in our hands, and my husband has a little bit of an accent, and it's like this whole like. And then we're aggressive. It's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, oh my God, mega buses. Yeah, I remember the fucking mega. Yeah, I do. Oh my God. I even remember taking the buses also that had the bathrooms on them.
Ugh. Never again. Oh my God. They don't close properly.
No. And you know what? I've had plenty of moments in my life where I was like, I gotta use it. I gotta use it.
Don't. A vagrant died in there. Don't do it.
I know.
Hey, you just push him off the seat, make room for 2.
Are you signed?
Just don't touch the needle. That's all I'm saying.
Step over the needle. Step over the needle. All right, you guys. It is time for the last comedian of the night. This beautiful human being has been on HBO. There's nothing else for me to say. Get your hands together for Miss Lynette Palladino.
I never really think of myself as doing well in life, but I don't know what a Planet Fitness smells like. So now I feel like I have some contacts. I'm like, all right. I think we're okay. We're gonna be okay. I am married. I'm married. Yeah, I promise you guys, what I'm about to say 100% does not affect your life, so don't be sad. So like a month ago, my husband had a heart attack. He's fine, but we found out that he's an idiot. Here's the thing. I have long believed that my husband is the smartest, dumbest person I know. And now I have confirmation. He went to an Ivy League school and graduated in 2 years. As he was having his heart attack, he decided that he would Google his symptoms. And do you want to guess what my husband and Google came up with? Because it wasn't fucking heart attack.
Anxiety.
No.
Heartburn?
My Ivy League educated husband decided that it was gas.
Gas.
Like he was just laying there like, oh, why can't I say no to cheese? Bro, guys, once you pass 40, like, do not stop and go. Do not collect $200. Go directly to the ER. That's where you go. That's your next step when you have any sort of unexplained pain. We found this out, or I woke up to these text messages. I was 2 hours away in Fort Dix, New Jersey for the Army. So I was doing Army training, and I woke up to these text messages from my husband, like, going to the ER, having a mild heart attack. Ugh. More than a mild heart attack. Okay. Going into the operating room now. End of messages. I don't know if anybody noticed maybe an I love you in there. You autistic fuck. Like, really? Not even like a kiss the baby for me? Fucking something. Anything. It was horrible. So I get to spend the next 2 hours driving home in tears. Not for me. No. I don't give a shit about me. It's for our 2-year-old. She loves him.
Oh.
She thinks the sun shines out of his asshole. Dude, like, I am confident that if I died, she would look around 6 weeks later like, where'd that lady go? It's mom, but yeah, fine. She she loves him. So I get home. It's COVID times, so like there's really strict rules about like when you can go visit someone. So even though I made it home by like 8 a.m., the hospital's like, no, you can't go visit till noon. So I was like, all right. Like, it's a very weird feeling to just be like stuck waiting to see your husband who had a heart attack. like you feel like the sense of urgency, but then at the same time the universe is like, no, actually just watch some TV. Like, you're like, I don't know, you just feel like you should be doing something and you can't. Now we meet with cardiologists, and the cardiologist explains like our normal in life, right? So my husband's on like a Mediterranean diet now, which is fine. We could make that sound like it was a choice. Then they were telling him that he's gonna have to cut back on alcohol, and I was like, "You're going to have to define cut back." They're like, "Okay, you can have like 2 to 3 glasses of wine per week." Per week. I was like, bro, 2 to 3 glasses of wine is a Tuesday. I don't. What are you talking about? I don't even understand what you're saying. Also, I have never thought so long and hard about my wedding vows as in that moment. Like, for richer or for poorer, I could do it. It wasn't really what I was hoping for. You know, in sickness and in health, like that's fine. But nobody said shit about sobriety, all right? Nobody said shit about cutting back. Like, I'm not in this to collect chips with you. No. It's rosé season. I'm out. I can't do. You're asking too much. You really are. Yeah. So then they tell you like what you can and can't do, right? So he was able to go back to work after a week, back to play golf after a week. And then for exercise, they were explaining that he couldn't get his heart rate above 110. And so they were like, that's like a brisk walk. And I was like, well, then what about sex? And his cardiologist looked at us and was just like, no, you're good. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You think we can't have 110 sex? No. We are 120 people, okay? Have you seen my reverse cowgirl? That is easily 130 territory. Honestly, I think we need a second opinion. Fuck you, Dr. Patel. Like, how dare you? Prior to my husband's heart attack, my biggest fear about our relationship and him being 20 years older than me was that he would get Alzheimer's, and not that he would forget me, but that he would forget my relationship to him. So here's the thing, like, I've known my husband since I was 15 years old.
Aww.
Because he was my dad's boss. Woo! Yeah, that's always a fun reveal.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
I've known my husband since he was in his mid-30s. Like, I feel like I've hit that benchmark or that threshold where like Alzheimer's is like, no, yeah, like everything before 50 is what you're not going to remember, right? So I don't think he'll remember like what happens next. So he's laying there all confused, and I'm like, David, it's me, Lynette. And he's thinking about it, like, oh, Richie's kid. Yeah, and there's more. Meet our daughter. She loves you more. He doesn't like that joke. I don't care. I mean, our marriage isn't like, it's not like the stuff of fairy tales, despite our weird beginning. Sometimes I say it's trash because, like, here's the thing, like we have all the same problems, right? Like my husband, being the smartest, dumbest person I know, does weird things that drive me crazy. Like we moved into a new building during the pandemic, and the building didn't allow dogs, and at the time we had 2. So I was like, well, that's not gonna work. They're like, well, you can like register them as emotional support animals, and then you could keep your dogs. And I was like, well, that's the kind of shady shit I'm into, so let's do that. So you go on to emotionalsupportanimal.org, you pay a couple $100, and then you have to talk to a therapist. Like you really do have to talk to a doctor. So they call and they're like, why do you need an emotional support animal? And I thought I could just be like, I've been deployed 3 times. Sometimes I'm sad. And they're like, no, but why do you need one? And I was like, all right, like stuff happened, you know? And so like 40 minutes later, I was like, wow, not only do I need these dogs, I think I need you. Like, can you send me your veils? It was wild. And so they send you an actual memo like on their letterhead that says, I, Dr. So-and-so, evaluated Lynette Palladino, and she suffers from OCD, anxiety, and depression. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't have to say it like that. So I sent that letter to my husband jokingly going, see, sometimes it pays to be crazy because we get to keep the dogs. And he forwarded that letter to the building manager like, we good? And I was like, bro, what are you doing? He doesn't need my diagnoses. He just needs the certificate that honestly I could have made in Photoshop. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you just told the whole building I'm crazy. Now I walk through the lobby and they're like, you see her? That's 33A. Those dogs are real. It's not for show. Also, like, my husband's the CEO of a company with 75 employees. Like, bitch, have you never heard of HIPAA? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You guys have been really amazing. Luz, thank you so much for organizing this.
Thank you so much. Give it up for Miss Lynette Palladino on a Tuesday night.
Woo!
I mean, what else would you be doing? You know, right? I'd be on the couch watching Netflix with my husband, and he'd be falling asleep, and I'd be angry, and it's that whole thing. Why can't you stay up one night? You know,
I'd be breastfeeding my dog.
right? Well, that's the
Me
thing.
too.
That's the only one who's interested at this point in my life.
My dog and my husband do not get along. She's a 14-year-old Chihuahua, and they fucking hate each other. They hate each other. Hate. Like we have been together for 10 years. And every time he walks in the room, he comes near me. She just like attacks, and she has no teeth.
Oh.
Nothing can stop that bitch, and I fucking love it.
Lynette, I also have a service dog. My dog is, I did it online. I just lied. It's the truth. That dog's been to more restaurants than anyone else.
I told him what they wanted to hear.
They say, you can't bring a dog in here. I'm like, here's the paper.
Well, some places are
diagnosis.
cracking down. Now it's like it needs to be a therapy dog, like you know, the
Right.
kind of dog that's gonna like smell your seizure coming. I'm like,
Yeah. Tell them I'm blind. I have a Shih Tzu. I'm blind.
Yeah, like I need a dog that's gonna smell out my panic attack, you know? Or I'm about to really lose my shit when I really shouldn't.
yeah, but then they expect you to like go Bella, get my Xanax. You know,
Something. Calm me the fuck down. Do something.
you can't do that shit.
Yes, nothing says crazy like a 4-pound service dog.
Yeah. Imagine rolling up to the school with that. No dogs are allowed. It's my service dog. I have anxiety. Get away from me and don't touch me. Oh my God, you guys, thank you so much. Every single one of you. Follow every single one. Follow Calvin Cato. Follow Tony Viagra. Follow Robin Lacken. Follow the Lynette Palladino. It's Tuesday night. I thank you all for showing up and being your best self and letting the fuck go, you guys. To you. No, this applause gives me a panic attack because it comes in strong. Thank you so much, you guys. Follow us at Hardheaded Comedy Inc. on all the platforms and get out there. Support live comedy, support virtual comedy, support stand-up comedians because we're the ones that are keeping you alive and you know it.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Thank all of you. Bye.
Hasta mañana.